Remember those cheap, lightweight, Chinese-made high-frequency inverters from the 90s? The ones that might last you a year or two, if you were lucky? Unfortunately, they're back. Only this time, these Chinese manufacturers are stuffing these lightweight, short-lived, low-surge inverters into larger, more modern-looking metal and plastic boxes with little to no improvements to this outdated high-frequency technology, with claims that they can safely power your entire home. If you've already thrown your money away on one of these poorly engineered, overpriced products, then we highly recommend that you do not watch this video, because you're not going to be happy with what you learn about the technology that's used in these inferior devices. In a high-frequency inverter, tiny, easily damaged MOSFETs directly power all of your loads. In a low-frequency inverter, on the other hand, all of your loads are powered by a massive, heavy-duty, iron core, copper-wound output transformer. This massive iron core transformer makes a huge difference when it comes to the inverter's life expectancy and its surge capacity. Another major issue with many of these high-frequency solar generators and inverters is their overload protection. Rather than shutting down the inverter's output during an overload, most of these inverters will lower their output voltage to as low as 80 volts AC and then slowly ramp the voltage back up, which effectively creates a brownout. The problem with a voltage brownout is that in order to maintain the load's power draw, the load will cause an increase in the amount of current that is drawn, which can damage the windings of electric motors and the insulation of wiring in your appliances, which can eventually lead to short-circuit-induced fires in your electronics and appliances. High-frequency, transformerless inverters are not designed to repeatedly power high-surge loads such as refrigerators, microwaves, power tools, air conditioning, or EVs. You might be able to power some of these inductive loads when your high-frequency inverter is new, but every time you do, you're shortening the life of the already overheated MOSFETs and capacitors in your inverter. Another issue with these high-frequency inverters is that in order to qualify for any of the available state rebate and tax credits, or to even pull an installation permit, an inverter must meet UL 1741 safety standards, and most of these Chinese-made high-frequency inverters are not certified for UL 1741. High-frequency, transformerless inverters operate at a much higher temperature due to their high switching speeds, which makes them far more prone to early failure. Because there is no output transformer, if the output monitoring circuit were to fail, it would only take a single overheated MOSFET to short to ground, and high voltage, high current DC could pass through to your AC loads and set them on fire. In light of this, whatever you do, never attempt to charge an EV with a high-frequency, transformerless inverter. Here's a photo that was posted on DIYSolarForum.com of a cabin that was allegedly burned to the ground by a high-frequency solar generator. In order to save on weight and cost, yet another problem with the lack of a heavy-duty iron core copper-wound output transformer is that these manufacturers substitute the transformer with a pile of cheap, Chinese-made, off-spec, resistors, diodes, capacitors, and inductors that not only make these inverters far more difficult and expensive to repair, but also makes for a far more complex circuit that's prone to early failure. With over 24 years in the inverter repair industry, it has been our experience that high-frequency transformerless inverters have a much higher failure rate when compared to low-frequency, transformer-based inverters. So it is our recommendation that if you're planning on powering inductive loads in your home, such as microwave ovens, refrigerators, power tools, or AC units, that you purchase a UL-listed, hybrid, low-frequency, pure sine wave transformer-based inverter charger. We're the Inverter Doctor. Since 1999, we have provided inverter repair services to thousands of customers nationwide. Based on that experience, we know full well which inverter technology works and which inverter technology doesn't. In our professional opinion, when it comes to safety, performance, and reliability, a high-frequency solar generator or inverter is the last thing on earth that you want to power your home with.